Hello, hello. I originally wasn't going to do this because I don't really want to do predictions, but considering that my childhood consisted of both Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, I decided to make an exception this time for a true prediction. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think Yugi is going to win. Not only do I think Yugi is going to win, but I don't even think this is close. If you're an anime-only fan, you might be confused how this fight could even work, since dual monster mechanics in Pokemon battles are so different. But if you're like me and you read the Yu-Gi-Oh manga, then you already know that the Yugi Ash is going up against is simply out of his league with hacks that Ash is not prepared for. See, when I was in college, I was really big into reading manga, and since I was a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh growing up, I figured that I'd check out the manga and oh boy, this manga is way darker than you realize. If you're an anime only fan and you never read the manga, I highly recommend it, but just be aware that it's a full on psychological horror. Yami Yugi in the manga is absolutely terrifying, and since Death Battle always looks at the original source in all official sources, they're analyzing this monster that is manga Yugi. Look at this. Does this look like the kid-friendly anime you grew up watching? Needless to say, when I read volume 1 of the manga and saw this, I was wondering if I was even reading the same story. When you think of Yu-Gi-Oh, you think of dual monsters. But no, dual monsters in the Duelist Kingdom doesn't come into the story till later. Originally, the manga opens with Yugi solving the Millennium Puzzle, and Dark Yugi literally sends people to the Shadow Realm every chance he gets, and either makes them go insane or outright kills them in some instances. I'll go through the first Shadow game to show you an example. Dark Yugi confronts a bully and talks him into playing a game. Thing is, this is the first time you see Dark Yugi, and this bully truly has no idea who he's messing with. You know shit just got real when Yugi is like, take out your knife, bro. The first Shadow game is literally to take money by stabbing it with a knife. While the money is on the back of your freaking hand. I don't know about you, but if I saw someone invite me to play a crazy masochistic game like this, yeah, screw that. That bully is actually crazy enough to play this insane game. Then, when the bully loses, Dark Yugi just straight up makes his eyes into a mosaic, making literally everything the bully sees look all pixelated. These are the type of hacks that I'm talking about. There's literally nothing stopping Yugi from just doing this to Ash, presumably whenever he wants. And then from that point on, what's Ash supposed to do? Oh yeah, then manga Yugi is actually crazy enough to just outright wager his own life if he loses, because that's a completely normal and reasonable thing to do. Here, Yugi straight up sets this guy up with a rigged shadow game that ends up literally setting him on fire. This isn't an illusion. In the manga, he's actually on fire due to his cigarette falling onto an overflowing glass of liquor. This game, Yugi is playing air hockey with a literal test tube of explosives. This same air hockey game ends with Yugi's opponent literally getting exploded. It's not until volume 2 of the manga that Kaiba even shows up and Duel Monsters is introduced. There's no holograms here. Yugi is literally bringing the monsters to life after making this into a shadow game. This is exactly how the fight is going to be possible against Ash, because manga Yugi would just make it into a shadow game and make his cards into real monsters. After this duel in the manga, Yugi literally puts Kaiba into a coma for 6 months. In this game, Yugi threatens to explode these guys with a frickin' bomb. In the same game, Yugi tricks those guys into standing in water while a taser is dropped into the water. And all of those guys get electrocuted since they're soaked in the rain and standing in a puddle. And this isn't even covering Duelist Kingdom either, which is pure psychological terror. Because in the manga, you have things like Bandit Keith straight up being made to off himself, Yami Bakura killing Pegasus by tearing out his eye. So it's like, whenever I think of Ash vs. Yugi, because I actually read the manga and saw how dark this series truly is, I don't think of this kid-friendly Yugi anymore. Like, after reading the manga, I now think of this ruthless monster. And that's who they're having in this death battle. They're having this sadistic, dark, malevolent version of Yugi, this terrifying abomination that can like turn your eyes into mosaics and has no problem killing just normally. The Yugi series is definitely dark in the manga. It's way more dark in the anime, but it's actually really good. It's still about friendship and all these other stuff, but like the way that the duels are and the way that Yugi is just in general, he's just a much darker character. It's just overall darker all around. But like I understand that I'm not really touching on Ash on this, and that's not really the point. Like I'm just wanted to address the fact of like, look, I think Yugi is winning because I read the manga, and Yugi in the manga is like this ruthless, like he just like okay, so Ash thought Sabrina was bad. He's going up against someone that is worse than Sabrina, and he has mind hacks that outperforms anything that she's ever done to him. And I know that he, got better over time and got better Pokemon. I don't think it matters. I don't think Ash has a reliable way to actually counter any of the hacks that Yugi can do. And then we're talking about things like strategy. Yugi is consistently does things that no one in their right mind would ever think of. Like there was this one duel where he summoned the moon and then he attacked the moon that he summoned just to destroy the tide and defeat a duelist that was using the water environment as their main strategy. Like this is the kind of off the wall, basically BS plot armor level thinking that Yugi's strategic mind just does casually. And since we're going to be pulling from all sources, like there was that time where he created an infinite regenerating defense.
My last card will be the magic card Multiply. Multiply works with endlessly. More than you bargained for, eh, Kaiba?
So is this some kind of a joke?
I'm getting more and more defenders by the second.
It possesses, it'll burn them to a crisp. Neutron Blast! So there.
What the hell is Ash going to do to get through something like that? Like that is it's essentially an infinite defense. And then there was another time when Yugi created an infinite attack.
Each one of these knights has a hidden power. Now, Critias, absorb the ability of my attack guidance barrier! This allows Critias to transfer his attack to any other monster on the field! So the new target of his Sword of Wisdom will be legendary Knight Hermos!
What?
It's time for Hermos to activate his special ability now. But first, I must sacrifice my 3 Magnet Warriors! This allows Hermos to triple the strength of Critias' attack! And send that attack right back!
You can't!
I just did! Now my 2 knights are reflecting their attack back and forth as its strength increases to infinity!
So that attack is stuck in an endless loop!
Your Divine Serpent's strength may be infinite, but that's still not enough! For now there's a force beyond infinity! My Knight of Destiny! Knight of Destiny, attack his reptile with Sword of Justice!
Yugi doesn't even make freaking sense anymore. Like he's a strategist to such a high level that he basically BS's his way through anything. And I didn't even talk about how he has all 3 Egyptian gods because I mean, does that even matter at this point? Like, I mean, whenever this guy's strategic mind is so good that it just becomes straight up plot armor. Because but it's not plot armor because his like strategy is that good that it seems like plot armor. And his hacks are off the charts, especially in the manga. Like, okay, so Yugi sets up this impenetrable, infinitely regenerating Karibo wall. He summons all 3 Egyptian gods. He gets his Dark Magician. And then he creates an infinite attack because he's done these ridiculous things before. He does all this to Ash. And then he just uses his powers and, like, puts Ash into an illusion where he sees everything as mosaic. Or he puts Ash into an illusion where he just, like, he sees the duel monsters in his face. Like, he puts him in an illusion where, like he did to Kaiba when Kaiba was in a coma for 6 months. Like, if he does that to Ash at any point in the fight, like, what the hell is Ash gonna do? Like, you can't do anything at this point. So, it's like, for these reasons, I'm just going with Yugi on this one, hands down. I know I kind of neglected Ash, but I just wanted to touch on Yugi because I don't think a lot of people have actually read the manga and seen what this dude is actually capable of. Have a good day. I will be doing a reaction. Tune into that whenever it goes live. Thank you.